Hey guys, welcome to Sober Talk. You're here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober, or perhaps you're just sober curious. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight. First of all, how do you know if you have a drinking problem? If it causes problems. If your checked liver light came on like mine did, if you're getting alcohol induced cardiomyopathy, maybe you are realizing that you do love your family more than you do the booze or the drugs for whatever the reason may be. I'm glad you're here. It's a new year tough on everybody. Got a good show for you guys tonight. We got Dr. Lara, not the Dr. Lara, nurse, our resident nurse, and we got a old dear friend who has a lot going on, Chris Anderson. So let's check and see who's here. We got Joe Harris is here. We got Penny Bishop is here. We got Derek Schnitzkel. Hello, Derek. Brian Biggerstead. Brian, how you doing, buddy? And we got some people over here, and this is on Sober Talk. If you want to call into the show, if you want us to call you, email me sobertalklive@gmail.com. That is sobertalklive@gmail.com. And wow, still looking for that special intern. We did pick up a little bit of a sponsor, KYSBestHemp.com, KYSBestHemp.com. Please, if you do buy CBD, check those guys out because they're making it possible for me to hire someone to run this equipment. And if you 30% off of everything at KYSBestHemp.com by using promo code TOM30. That is TOM30. See who else we have over here. We got Beck. We got Bobby Burris is here. We got Nick. Hey Nick. Ron Van Loo. Dora Bray. Had Dora Bray. So some people are watching over at Tom Mabe Comedy, and some people are watching over. Wow, 7 years for Larry Boyd. Congrats, uh, David Traxler. How are you doing, man? You staying sober? Yes, I am. Tom, thank you so much for the AA Zoom meetings. Wow, I do about 3 or 4 days now. Yeah, if you want to go to an AA meeting, check out Google Zoom AA. So wow, so gear going haywire. Lost all internet connection on my switcher. I know it kind of looks a little weird right now because I'm not able to reset the cameras because the Wi-Fi is down on those cameras with the Black Magic switcher. So, all right, let's get right to it. Let's call Laura. I just need to talk to someone. It's tough. I'm not wanting to drink, but boy, what a tough day. It is just one of those days. So here we go. This is let's call Laura. We're gonna call her right now. So how you guys doing? Do you ever have a good Christmas, a good holidays, whatever you celebrate? Let's see here. So the other day we had a great guest on. Um, his name is James Sweeney. Boy, Sweezy, what a great guest that guy was. We'll have him back on later this week. Let me see if I can get her. Hold on, let me get it switched to my Wi-Fi here. Hold on. Everything that could go possibly wrong today is going wrong. So we need to go to Wi-Fi. We got a Bluetooth, a Rodecaster. Hold on, Laura. And Laura, can you hear me? Hold on one second. I'm gonna try to switch you over to so the folks at home can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So wow. So right before we went live, our main switcher lost the Ethernet cable connection, and I couldn't figure it out because I'm an idiot. And it's like this every time I go live, Laura. And I feel like I'm just kind of jumping in, like ah. So you're kind of under the
Uh,
weather. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I am. I've had a stomach bug since Saturday. I'm feeling a little bit better.
Okay.
So just trying to rest and drink my fluids and hopefully kick this soon. So
Okay. So for
yeah.
the folks at home, Laura is our resident nurse. Laura works at a trauma emergency center in Tampa, Florida, and you have been given the task to once again work New Year's Eve. Will you see a lot of drunk drivers and stuff come in, and what what
Yeah.
what will you see?
Um Christmas was actually very busy, and believe it or not, our numbers for DUI was up this year, Christmas Day.
Wow.
I
You
found
think
that
it's
very,
because you find it surprising, but do you think it's because of just the year that we've had and people can't go
it
out?
is,
Yeah.
you know, I asked, and, not to be nosy, but I was like, what brought this on? Can you tell me? And they just said, this one guy's like, I was sober for 4 months before this, Lara, and all of a sudden my sister got really, really ill, and I just couldn't take it anymore, and I just drank.
Yeah.
And everybody I talked to was just about the same. This COVID thing is it's playing on everybody, at this point.
Yeah, my
Um,
buddy owns a treatment facility here in Kentucky, RAC, top notch,
yeah,
and he's like saying, man, he hasn't seen anything like it. People been sober for 25 years, falling off the wagon and having to come
yeah.
back in and get, and go through the program again, which is a
And it's not easy for anybody, even me. I mean, I blew up at Tom for no reason.
you put.
you know, and it was just, it's like it's just there's so much going on and so much stress,
we
and
we
I don't.
all we all have a very very short wick right now because it's just so daggone tough. And
Right.
I tell people, I had a guy that he graduated with me in high school. I haven't talked to him in probably 30 years. And he called. He said, "Hey, I understand you're doing sober talk and this and that." And he said, I'm having like 19 drinks a day." And
uh,
he said, and I said, "Buddy," and he was so. I called him. He emailed me on Facebook, and I called him right back. I said, "Man, it's going around. Don't beat yourself up, but don't die over it." And poor guy, just crying on the phone. I don't know what to do. I do not know what to
yeah.
do. And this is noon. He says like 9 drinks in, and
Right.
a great guy, and he never been off the rails this hard. But it is
Yeah.
really tough for everyone out there right now.
And unfortunately, guys, it's going to get worse. We're going to see numbers are going to be up in January and February.
Oh, do you
Um,
think so? Yeah, and this is coming from Lara. We're on the phone with Lara. She works in an
oh,
emergency room in Tampa.
yeah,
And
it's
you're,
coming. Yep.
oh God, I hate to hear
Yep.
that. Boy, do I hate to hear
Yeah.
that.
So, but
Wow.
I don't think people understand either. Healthcare professionals, we can't see our families. Like I, I haven't seen my family in a month, because I have to isolate from them, because I'm around it every day. So
That's
it's
right.
really,
You're around it, so
yep,
you can't. Can't.
yep,
Wow.
and it's hard for me. Yeah, yeah, but yep.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I pray that everything will be okay, but you
Yeah.
know, but I just ask, anybody that's on here, you all have just worked so hard. And I've seen so many stories recently about, how many days or how many months you've been sober, and, just don't blow that away,
And
just for New Year's,
if you do,
you
or
know,
if you have, or whatever, you know what? Here's what I hate. Here's why I hate counting days. I'm pushing 6 months, but
right,
I have not looked at my app
right,
because if I have a slip up and I haven't yet, but if you're driving cross country and you're going from Tampa to Seattle, Washington, and somewhere
right,
in Cheyenne, Wyoming, your car breaks down with a flat tire, do you go all the
yeah,
way back to Tampa and start over? No, you change the tire, get back on the
right,
highway. And that's how I feel about
right,
alcohol. I don't, if you have a start date, then you have an end date. So I'm not a big
right.
day counter. I'm broaching 6 months, and had a guy that, man, when you have your 1 year, I want to be there. I'm like, I don't even want to be there. It sucks that I think that way, but it is the way I think. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
so what else is going? So Christmas,
mhm,
a lot of drunk drivers, a lot of people coming in with alcohol related
yeah,
issues.
yeah.
What did you see? Give me
Um,
an idea of what you saw.
I had two trauma um, alerts, from DUI accidents. one hit a guardrail going 65 miles an hour. Um, the driver was 3 times over the normal limit. The passenger had not been drinking at all. Both of them didn't have their seatbelts on. They were both in pretty bad shape.
Oh,
They both
jeez.
survived. So
Oh, wow. That's
thank goodness.
amazing to survive without having your
Yeah.
seatbelt on at 60, hitting a guard.
And
Wow.
then had a 21-year-old kid, first time he had ever drank, and ended up hitting a car, and he was okay. But yeah, so it just, just driving while you're drunk, just, you know, I just get so mad at these patients when they come in, and I don't mean to do it. I'm not trying to be nasty, but it's like, what do we have to do or say to you guys in order for you to understand? It's just, I get so frustrated, just like you, Tom. I want to pull my hair out and just say, what
And
are you
it's
doing?
this disease, this allergy, whatever you want to call it. People they want to fly. It can't be a disease because I don't
Yeah,
care. Whatever it is,
right.
I call it a disease because you will die if you don't stop. Uh,
Exactly.
uh, it makes people just want to drink until they hit
Yep,
their rock bottom again. And I
yep.
asked one guy, when do you quit? He said, I always quit after I go to jail. He said, I drink and I go to jail, and then I go, oh, it's time to stop. And yeah, that's pretty crazy that that we're wired that way. But
Yeah,
and I just hate to see people like that, and or people
yeah,
think that way. But that's the addiction telling you, oh, it's okay, it's okay. A
right.
friend of mine on here, Jennifer, she went 2 days, and she was so
Uh-huh.
excited that she went 2 days. She called me today, and she's like, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I heard it in her voice. She didn't say it, but I could tell she's a little tipsy, and like, it's not. I don't know. You got to get those days under your belt. And a lot of people, what would you tell somebody, when someone comes in your hospital and they go,
Hmm.
Lara, I really, really want to quit. I don't know how to start. I don't, how do I just
Right.
how do I stop? How do I stop? What do you guys recommend?
We call the mental health counselors that we have in the hospital,
Okay.
and we have 3 that are addiction specialists. So um, they're on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Hmm.
and we put in an order, and they come down. They say, these are your options. If you're serious, we can have this treatment center come pick you up if they have a bed available. Or we even have the ability to admit the person, get them started, and then get them sent to a place. So
Yeah.
we, my hospital is very fortunate that we offer a lot of different services. So yeah,
Well, good, good.
yeah.
So boy, girl, you sound rough. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. So do you get tested for the pandemic that's going around? Do you get tested for that often?
Yeah, yeah, every week.
Okay.
So,
But right now
but
you
I've
got a
been,
stomach flu thing going on, you say?
yeah, yeah, some stomach thing, but yeah, I think, I'm, stressed and stuff like that. But I feel okay though. I'm feeling a
Okay,
little bit
okay,
better.
okay. Well, anything you want to add before we move on? What else what else is
I'm
happening?
going,
Go ahead.
I'm going to, I'm going to be posting some books, um, on the page today, um, that
And you're
are
talking about the
really
page.
good.
If you go to the Sober Talk Live Facebook page,
Yeah.
you click on groups. We have a private
Mhm.
group that anyone could join. Everything's free. Just join it. And there's a lot of people like Lara on there who can help you out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to post a couple of books that I read that I think, would be so helpful, um, in for everybody to read. And then I just wanted to end with the saying that this doctor told me, a couple days ago. And he's like, just may the tears you cried in 2020 water the seeds you plant in 2021.
So may
So,
the tears that you cried in 2020 water the seeds that you plant in
yep,
2021. Nice. That's
yep,
nice.
yep.
All right. Well, I'll let
So,
you go back to bed. Or you're laying in bed right now, aren't you?
yeah, I'm doing Sober Talk Live in bed.
Well, yeah. There you go. Welcome to Bed Talk with Tom and Laura. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Uh,
All right.
uh,
All right. Well,
all right.
all right, Laura. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye bye. That's our resident nurse, Lara from Tampa, Florida. She works in an emergency room and she sees a lot of catastrophes and a lot of catastrophic things. And I think I'm going to call my buddy Roger Hayes in a minute. Roger quit drinking, and he has a lot of he did it without AA, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working the steps. And speaking of steps, so James Sweezy was on the other night, and I had a show in up in Ohio Friday night or the day after Christmas, and I went up, and James owns three treatment centers. One right like 10 minutes from here, called RAC. It's like an incredible treatment facility, and he said, "Hey, you want to?" He said, "Can I go with you?" I was going to ask you if you wanted to go. So he came up, and I said, "Man, I'm really having problems with the fourth and fifth step for many months." And he said, "The fifth step is just like a 10th step. Take he, uh, everybody's like, well, AA didn't work for me. Like, well, tell me, can you recite the steps? Have you worked the steps?" And oh, well, no, no, the first one, I'm powerless over alcohol or whatever. But we're talking about the 10th step is taking an inventory of a resentment inventory of or things that you did that day. And sometimes I'll fly off the handle with my kid because I get really nervous, like, Josh, just shut up, hush, 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 and or I'll say something bad or I'll do something stupid, and like I don't want to do that tomorrow. And he's like, when you go to bed, he said, when you shut down your computer, if you're working on your computer all day, you just don't go and unplug it. You got to save files and you got to shut the computer down correctly and everything. So when you start it back up in the morning, everything's there. But if you don't, if you just unplug it the next morning, it's going to be rebooting and trying to do everything. He says, he says, go over your resentments, that things that you did that day, things that you wish you would have done better, things that you wish you hadn't said, and kind of just think about them. And the next morning, pray that you don't do those things. Like, God, give me the strength not to, give me more patience with my kid, or don't let me fly off the handles so much. And it's so cool when you see people who work the steps and they're just so calm and they're so cool. I'm telling you, the steps are something for people who don't even have uh, an addiction issue or a drinking problem or something. But I'm gonna give Roger a call here. He's gonna wonder what the hell we doing calling him because this is not planned. But I wanna call Chris here in a minute. So hello,
Hello.
hello, Roger Hayes. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Tommy?
Well, I'm well. I'm live. It looks like the colors are everything's real dark because I screwed up something. Carrie and I were trying to figure out the Ethernet before I came in, and all of a sudden the board stopped working. And I promise I'm going to hire an intern who knows what they're doing to come. Not an intern, but a production assistant to come into work. I finally picked up a couple little sponsors, and that's going to enable me to hire someone. But comment on on uh on sober talk, and you're sober, right? You don't drink at all.
No, no, I haven't. I do have a fix for your electronics problem, though. Just real quick,
Okay, sure.
just turn it on and turn it off again.
Yeah, that should do it. I tried it.
Um,
You don't.
yeah,
How long you been sober? How long no alcohol?
a little over 2.5 years, I guess.
Has it been
Yeah,
that long? Wow.
no, yeah, it, and I guess Tom, you and I have talked about this. I don't keep track for me.
Hmm.
I don't keep track of the time as much. I used a kind of a method, I guess you will, or a practice called rational recovery.
I've heard. Yeah, is that a book? Maybe I've heard that somewhere.
There is a book online. It in somehow some way I forgot, but it's got some roots to AA, and I tried AA, and it just wasn't a good fit for me.
Right.
But I knew I had to do something,
Right.
um, and my excellent counselor, and she
Matter of fact,
recommended.
we share the same counselor. Little trivia for the folks at home. You're talking about Jane,
We do,
right?
and
Yeah.
probably we've talked about each other in there because of our relationship together
I brought
too.
you
It's
up.
caused a
I
lot of
brought you
grief.
up, and she's like, Tom, steer clear of that. I'm not supposed to talk about other patients, but stay away from him. He's bad
But
news.
she mentioned to kind of take a look at that as another option to AA, and I did, and for me, after reading through it, it made sense. And
And the book is called Rational Recovery.
Rational Recovery, and the other book that she had mentioned with that, alcoholics were never short of books to recommend. But it was The Naked Brain,
The Naked
I believe,
Brain.
by Annie Grace. And the cool thing about that was The Naked Brain. I hope that was it, The Naked Brain.
That might have
But
been.
this woman that wrote it, she had been in marketing, and she exposed a lot of lies that the alcohol industry has fed us over the years.
Interesting.
I'll give you one. The thing about alcohol is our body poison, and here's how you know that, Tom. You can think back to probably the first time you had a drink of wine or a drink of hard liquor or a drink of beer, and you took a drink, it made a god awful face, and the person that gave it to you said what? Oh, you get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it. Yeah, it's an acquired taste. Yeah,
it's an exactly.
A little bit. It takes a
Our
second.
body thinks it's poison. So, that and the Rational Recovery book, the long and short of the Rational Recovery book, to oversimplify things as I usually do, I kind of adopted a mantra where I told this beast within myself that was trying to kill me slowly, that I will never drink again. And I've shared this with you too, but I even went as far as to program twice a day, kind of my weak zones as it was, at 6 p.m. I had it pop up on my phone, IWNDA. And that stood for, I will never drink again. And I'll never change my mind. It sounds simple, but it's worked, and I was sober today.
No, that's great. That's great. You saving a bunch of money? How much when you did drink? Give the folks at home two questions. How much in embarrassing things happen when you drink?
Oh, Tom, I had never. I can't think back and think of a great decision I made in my life where I was drunk.
Yeah.
Or I was.
And I met your first three wives. I met your three.
Hammered, yeah.
I'm teasing.
And but I was I don't know what the term was. But I bought rounds. I was that guy.
Yeah.
In the bar.
Yeah.
Where it's not just me. I wanted everybody else to be drunk with me, and I wanted them to keep up with me.
Okay.
And in the later years, because I've been drinking since I was 13.
Wow.
Yeah. And in the later years, I had never been in a fight in my life, which I know surprises you with my smart mouth, but I'd never been in a fight in my life until the last 3 years of drinking, which would have been
2.5 years ago. So 5.
12, 17. Yeah. And all 3 fights that I got in all happened in the same manner. I was drunk. It was about closing time, and I was at a bar, and I didn't want things to end.
Wow.
So I'd get mad, and what a mess.
Yeah. What a mess. Yeah, I had a buddy of mine call that ran with us growing up. I won't say his name, but he was crying. He was drinking 19 beer. He said, I drink about 19 drinks a day. He counted them. And I said, how, and this is noon. I said, well, you've already like 3 or 4 today. He said, I'm on number 9. Excuse me. And bless his heart. And he was just like, how do I stop? When you stop, because you drink pretty hard, did you have an issue? Did you have medication, or how did you just like stop? Did you white knuckle it?
Well, the first, I mean, I tried to quit, several times, and I'd been sober in a previous marriage, um, and then I started drinking again and blamed it on her.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously that's no excuse. But I did in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I tried a medication. They call it antabuse.
Yeah, is that the one that makes you throw up if you drink?
Yeah, yeah. And so what did I do with it, Tom? I learned how to drink around it. I learned that I could take a little bit.
So you actually tested it? You tried it to see if you would throw up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to see, when I got sober, I told my wife, she could not understand why, because she's a social drinker and she just couldn't understand why it had so much control. And I told her, I said, because, and this is after some thought and a lot of solitude, was I loved alcohol more than I loved her or anybody else. And she started crying when I told her that. And then I started to tear up.
You actually did tell her that too, didn't you? You said, I love the alcohol more.
I mean, it hit me. It was like the weight was off my shoulders, but then when I saw words caused her feeling bad again, and I was like, how in the world can I love a substance, a liquid, more than another loving, caring human being? And that's just
because it changed. Because you were self-medicating, and you were using the wrong kind of medicine to help whatever was screwed up in your head. You think?
Definitely. It's again, I call it my inner beast, and that's what rational recovery calls it, because alcohol just doesn't care. I would lie, cheat, or steal.
It's like the honey badger. Don't give a f crap.
That's right.
Alcohol like the honey badger. Wow. Well, man. Well, I'm glad you're sober now. 2.5 years. My only concern when I hear people but you're still, we drink to deal with problems, and then the drinking becomes a bigger problem than the problems that we were dealing with. And then we quit drinking, but we still have those problems. So it sounds like you've dealt with the problems that you had that made you want to drink.
Yeah. I mean, first I had to realize that, I was medicating. And Tom, you know me, I've spent enough time on a counselor's chair to earn my honorary doctorate.
Right.
But, I knew there was a problem, but I had to get rid of that alcohol and get away from it long enough to then, like you said, okay, so what's underneath of this? And for me, it was fear of a lot of different things, fear of failure, fear that I wouldn't measure up, a lot of comparison. And alcohol provided a way for me to numb it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So what I did instead was I started using an app called Headspace.
Now, is that meditation?
Yeah, and there's Calm out there as another app, and Headspace is a great app. But a roommate from college actually told me about it, one day, and I downloaded it, and it gives you, like 10 free days to kind of do it. It doesn't. Here's the thing about meditation, the Headspace app, anyway, Tom, is I was raised in a Baptist church, got away from church, went back to church, and the thing that I always thought about meditation or yoga or whatever was somebody's trying to change my religion. Right? Well, I couldn't have that.
Yeah.
But once I got into it and I started the Headspace app, at least with that one, it doesn't. It's just about being mindful about the moment when things come at you, because things are always coming at us. But when things come at us, this is a way to say, "It's coming at me, and here's what I'm going to do with that." And so that helped me a lot. And now that's, for me, that's something that I need to practice.
So when you meditate, do you just listen? Do they have like a music or some soft? I mean,
well, with Headspace, it's guided, in the first 10 days, and they've got 3-minute guided meditations. They have 10 minutes. Most of them are 10 minutes.
What do you do? Do you like the 3 or the 10?
It depends on the situation. The great thing about meditation is that it is indisputable that meditation is healthy for you. That it makes your brain better.
No, I mean it's truly an AA thing. It's truly, I mean, a treatment thing. Everyone recommends meditation, but some people, meditation is like trying to find that static between stations. How do you and focus. Where other meditation, it's different for everybody, and I don't know the correct way to do it. I never did.
Well, and that's the good thing about these apps is they'll guide you through it, and it takes, because you and I are wired a lot. We put the D in ADD,
right,
and so it guides you through it, and it gets you to kind of focus on your breathing, knowing what's around you. Like if I was meditating right now, I could tell you I hear there's a car outside that drove by, but that's okay. I noticed that, and I'm going to go on with it. And so it's more about being mindful of what's around you, and then kind of being okay with that, and focusing more on your breath, and just kind of being calm. And I see it different than praying, because for me, my praying, I talk with God. I talk to God a lot, and I need to listen more. But it's different than meditation, where when I talk with God, I pray. I've got a purpose in mind, whether it's to thank Him, whether it's to ask Him something, whether it's to be angry.
But when you meditate, you're just you just let your mind go crazy, or just let it go wherever it wants?
No, you just kind of let your mind go where it goes, but you're noting along the way where it's going.
And real quick, I'm going to jump, but what's this app called one more time that you use?
It's Headspace.
And how much is that? I need to get a meditation app.
I pay for a yearly, and I think it's around $80 a year.
Mm-hmm.
But you get 10 days free. Another one is Calm. I don't know much about it other than, it's kind of the main. It's like the Coke and Pepsi with Headspace and Calm. So
I see. So Headspace and Calm. Well, all right, brother. Thank you so much for picking up. I just wanted to say hi.
Hey, thanks for doing this, Tom. This is a great show, great thing you're doing.
Nah, I love it.
Take care, buddy.
It holds me accountable. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks. So Daryl's telling me that we are kind of cutting in and out. So guys, hey, real quick, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, KYSBestHemp.com. If you do buy CBD, please check these guys out, because they're giving money right now. That money's going to go to hiring someone to make sure that everything's set up right. KYSBestHemp.com, and use promo code TOM30. That is promo code TOM30. And let's see if we can get Daryl on the phone real quick. My contact is going haywire. Otherwise, I would read some of these comments. Let's see. Oh, Carrie, thank you so much for posting these links. It's so cool that you're here. Let's get on the phone real quick. This is a guy, boy, we have a lot of catching up to do with this gentleman. I am so, you guys will recognize his voice when he's on.
Hello.
Hello, Chris.
Oh, hey, buddy. How's it going?
How's it going? How are you? You're home.
I am home. I had a little vacation.
A little vacation. Are we allowed to talk about that, or should we not? No big deal.
Oh, no. We're fine to talk about it. I'm all right.
All right. So, what kind of bird don't fly? A jailbird.
A jailbird, yeah.
So you got drunk and you did something while you were drunk that could have put you away for a long, long, long time, but you got lucky, and it took you away for like a month or so.
Yeah, about 45 days.
45 days, and
probation.
and I was surprised that you were able to text. I guess you got like a jail phone, and you could. I was getting texts from other. What's this number? You go, hey Tom, it's Chris. And I'm, hey, it's Chris.
Hey, I was surprised. I walked in there and I was like, dude, what are you doing on that phone? Like, oh, these are jail phones. We get these. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah.
What a little cottage industry that is. They get you. Wow. So they give you the phone, but you gotta. I'm sure there's a charge for it and everything. Well, that's cool. So tell me about the 45 days. You were in there, and you kind of. If I recall, you fell off. You told me the last time you were on the show, you fell off the rails a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, I ended up getting drunk.
Yeah.
See that, and ended up going to use meth when I got drunk.
So you got drunk and you ended up using meth.
Yeah. Yep. And then. Wow. Yep. And then once I got on my drunk and got high and realized I got higher on meth, I was just like, holy shoot. What am I doing? And then,
wow.
And now I was just hooked again. It like watched me in my face and kept a hold of me for a few months.
So
until I went to jail.
Is it so? Let me. You can be totally honest. I don't care. Is it out of your system now? Are you good? Or are you like?
I feel a lot better. I mean, my first 2 weeks sucked. So that's all I thought about was drinking and doing drugs. And then the longer I sat, do it, thankfully. Thank God I got to say that. And so, I mean, it's always in the back of a person's head, but I mean, not like it was.
So have you have you been clean for a little bit now, or you?
Yep. I haven't thought about it. I'm back home with my family. I thought I was going to lose my house, my wife, my kids. I thought I was going to lose everything. I mean, I was almost 99% sure I was going to get out and not have anywhere to go. Well, I wasn't going to be able to go back to my house and see my children and stuff. My wife was ready to give me divorce papers and everything else.
How's Crystal doing? Is she doing?
She's doing real good. She just got her 9-month sobriety chip 2 weeks ago.
So we're on the phone with my buddy Chris Anderson, and Chris is just spent 45 days in jail. He was sober for going on 3 or 4 months, and then fell off the rails again. Started drinking, and then the drinking led to your other drug of choice, which is meth. And then you ended up going. You had a court date for something you did prior to your first sober stint. And you told me that you thought you were going to go away for 2 or 3 years, but you just got the 45 days.
Yeah. I think that's what got stuck in my head. I was like, man, I'm going back. I hate to say it, but I did. Back in my younger days, I did 12 years in prison. So,
and then that all came from was the 12 years
drug related?
Drug related. Wow.
Yeah, I was high and ended up hurting a friend of mine and one of his friends pretty bad. Almost put me away for life, but thankfully it never. So, but then once I caught this assault charge, I thought I was going back to prison. So my mind's like, well, you might as well get drunk and do drugs. And I let it overtake me. I told a couple of people about it, but then I hit the rest of it.
Yeah.
I really didn't talk about it like I should have.
Right.
And it got the better of me. And like I said, I'm thankful to be home, thankful to have friends. I mean, I'll always probably have friends, but I mean, I let a lot of people down, mainly my wife and my kids.
How about your job?
So
Is that going to pan out, or is there?
I lost my job over this also. I lost a job that is probably the best job in this vicinity where I'm at. I had a boss that cared and loved me like a family member and my family. Took care of us. I mean, it almost makes me want to cry right now. I cry very easy.
I hear,
And,
I hear it,
yeah,
in your,
I
I hear it
let
in your
them down.
voice. Is there any chance of reconciling that job, or
Well,
is that?
I don't know. They've helped me out in the past, and I went to treatment, a couple of treatment facilities, and then I went to a mental hospital, and they supported me every time through it. But I think I might have cut my legs from underneath me. I'm not totally sure yet, but I talked to them on Christmas, and they still talk to me, and they wish me the best of luck in my recovery and in life. And they will always be my friends. So I didn't have the balls to say, hey, can I have my job back?
Yeah, you
So,
may, if they've given you so many chances and you ran that stop sign so many times,
exactly.
it may be tough love time right now. And are you going to be okay? Will you find other work in the line of work that you do?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep. I've already made a few good phone calls. The only bad thing is, like, nothing's going to happen after New Year's, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it.
Christmas and New Year's right now. So I did have a friend that put me to work for a couple of days. I made $150 per day, so I'm thankful for him. I worked just 2 6-hour days, and he helped me out, and which is grateful. And then
isn't it amazing how addiction and alcoholism, they call us cunning, baffling, and powerful.
And
it's
it
like,
is.
and you're going to you're going to lose your family, you're going to lose your career, and you're going to go to prison for 12 years. But hey, I'm still going to do it. It's just,
it is. It's true. It's so true. Because I really asked my wife, like, she's like, Chris, I'm kicking you out of the house. The kids are so mad at you. My daughter wouldn't talk to me. My son was crying all the time. And I told the kids, like, man, I love you guys. I won't do drugs again. And guess what? I went down in my garage really quick so they wouldn't know and smoked some stuff. And they came back up like I was a brand new dad. I was like, hey, guys, what's going on? My wife looked at me and shook her head because she knew.
She knew that you had went downstairs.
Yeah, and I just promised her and the kids I'd never do it again. And what do I do 2 minutes later? So.
How many times have you said you went to treatment? How many times have you done that?
Oh, I went to treatment as an adult on the streets 3 times.
Okay. What's the longest stint of sobriety have you from everything?
I had, I guess, at my first stint was 7 years, but I did smoke some pot during that 7 years. I didn't drink. I didn't do any meth or cocaine or any goofy drugs like that, but I did smoke pot because I always thought, it's going to be legal. So, but that's still not sober.
Bourbon's legal. Bourbon's legal. Beer's legal. You know.
Exactly. So it's still not fully clean, but.
Yeah, but there's a kind of little bit, a lot of people think pot is not the same unless you were smoking it, 24/7. I don't know. I don't want to even get in that argument, but.
I don't want to get in that car either because that's too debatable.
Yeah, but so you went 7 years with occasional pot.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And then after that, I mean, it's only about 4 or 6 months at a time, and then bam. The old dumb retard me comes out and is like, hey, let's party.
Yeah, you got that addiction.
But look what happens. You go out and get beat. You go out and beat somebody up, and you go to jail.
Check out, if you ever got to go to treatment again, come to my neck of the woods. You can do a treatment facility here. You can be on my show. I could come visit you. I could bring you like a cake with a file in it. That's great. I say that because one of my friends, James Sweezy, he owns I knew that he owned this facility. They just opened. I never saw it. It's a place called RAC, and it's gosh. If I ever fall off the wagon again, if I ever relapse, that's where I want to go because it's like this place is nice and it's just read up on it and so it's Robert Alexander Center, the RobertAlexanderCenter.com, man. That's what a great facility. So you're home. Crystal hasn't kicked you out yet. you're getting you're getting a little bit of work, and
Yeah.
right now you sound very sober. And are you
Yeah.
going to start going back to meetings and therapy and all that good stuff?
Oh yeah, I went to meetings on Christmas the day after, and today I did not go.
Okay.
And now I have a probation officer I have to check into.
You have a what now?
So
Now
a probation officer to check into.
Oh, and does he like make you pee in a cup and everything?
Oh yeah, she does. The
She
female
does.
even. Yeah,
She sounds hot.
she is hot. No, I don't know. I don't even know who she is. I've
I'm
never seen her.
kidding.
I talked to her on the phone.
Oh, that's the problem.
Hey. Well, yeah, so then I called my therapist today, got an appointment set up so I could talk to her. We have a lot to talk about, I guess.
Well, man, good luck to you. I'm glad you were able to. Thanks for reaching out while you were in there, because I didn't know that you were. I wasn't for sure if you were in there or when you were going in or whatever. And good to be home. Or you? I mean, was it like, wow, I'm out?
Well, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, and I was thankful I went in for 4 more days to be dead honest with you. I needed it. If I didn't, I'd probably still be high or doing some kind of drugs or doing something stupid that we do when we're high and drunk.
Yeah.
So I know people were like, oh, whatever, but hey, there's sometimes when you're actually grateful to be sitting in that place. So, but yeah, I'm happy to be home. My wife is an excellent chef, and she is a super. I'm getting fatter by the minute.
Dude, me too. I was so excited that when I first quit drinking, I got rid of my booze bloating, but now now it's coming back because of all the food I'm eating. I've never weighed more than I ever had right now, but I'm not judging. It's a holiday. I did
Right, I
download
was
this.
going to say it's holidays too.
Yeah, and I've downloaded this app to help me count my carbs and everything and exercise. I got a bike in the back office I've been riding. But
Oh, nice. How fast does it go?
yeah, it has has a 3.5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton on it. The fuse get these people sick. But all right, brother, love you. Talk to you
All
soon.
right, well, thank you for calling,
All right, man, we'll see you.
and thank you for everything you've done, buddy.
All right, you got it, buddy.
All right, you take it easy.
See you, man. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
That's my friend Chris Anderson. Just spent 45 days in jail because of an alcohol-related incident. And got drunk, beat somebody up. If you saw this guy, you think he's right out of a movie. Tattoos everywhere, bald head, tattoos. I mean, he would scare you. But one of the greatest guys that I know. And but when he drinks and drugs, he's probably one of the worst guys I know. So I want to call and say hi to my buddy Sweezy really fast. Close out the show with him.
Yo,
What's going on, James Sweezy? How are you, brother?
I'm well, brother. I just saw you online and had to jump in there. My better half, Elena, it was her home group night. So I didn't know you didn't have a guest, or I would have tried to work it out.
No. Yeah. I mean, I've had 3 or 4. I had Lara on, and then I had Roger, and then I had Chris Anderson,
okay.
and now I got you. Yeah, so it's all good. It's all good.
I'm tuning in late. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're tuning in late. Having some technical difficulties. I really need. Hey, be on the lookout. So as soon as I can talk RAC and sponsoring the show. By the way, we got James Sweezy on the phone. Oh shoot, are you there? Did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. James owns some treatment facilities. One is like 10 minutes from my office. It's the Richard. Is it Robert or Richard? Robert Alexander Center.
Say again. I'm sorry, it dropped out.
Is it Robert Alexander Center? Is that the name of your place?
That's right, Robert Alexander Center.
Yeah,
you had it right.
Yeah. So as soon as I talk you guys into sponsoring the show, I'm hiring somebody. But in your circle, do you know anybody who knows video switchers and things like that? You know, do you know anybody in that world?
I might have a guy.
Well, just
I was telling you about him the other
planting
day.
seeds. Anyone in Kentuckiana area, in Louisville, in Jefferson County, who happens to be watching. I just don't need someone to push buttons. I need, like, right now, something went haywire. My switcher board lost. It asked for an IP address. I don't know what an IP address is for a certain piece of gear. All the cameras are reset, the cameras, and everything's a little dark, and I can't switch cameras. We got the one camera tonight from back here. But anywho, so
Maybe I can bring the guy by with me on Friday. So I think I'm coming by Friday, right?
yeah, I think I may have double booked you.
That's all right.
But so I have to see if my co-host Jeff is back from California. We were supposed to do a New Year resolution day, and I think Friday is actually New Year's Day.
It is.
So
That's
we
right.
may do a special New Year's Eve show. But you got New Year's Eve. You got the wife and kids. You probably don't want to get out of the house. But we'll talk about it later.
If you want to do that, we can. I mean, our New Year's consists of laying in bed, eating Cheetos, and watching the ball drop. If we can stay awake that long,
Right,
You
dude.
know,
I'm
sober.
usually
I'm
out.
44.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sober, 44 years old. New Year's hasn't been a thing for a while.
Man, we were so I was trying to tell the folks at home about that step that you had, or it was step 10. You drove up to Lowland, Kentucky. We were right. James and I were right on the river, looking over to the Cincinnati skyline, and God, that was just beautiful. But I had to show up there at a place called the Burkus. It's like circus with a B, and James drove up with me, and he gave me it was an incredible. You're so knowledgeable. And you were telling me about people, hey, who thought AA didn't work for me or whatever, and like, well, tell me the steps, and they can't even tell you the steps. They never worked the steps. And I love how you were explaining taking inventory of your resentments for the day, and you use the computer. Would you mind sharing that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're referring to step 10.
Okay.
And anytime somebody tells me, the 12 steps didn't work, I always say, well, without looking at a book or a piece of paper, recite all 12 of them for me right now and tell me how you use them today. 100 times out of 100, they say I can't do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we were talking about. But that 10th step, what you're describing is your brain is a computer, right? Over a period of years, we have programmed our brains to act a certain kind of way. I react to situations in my life when somebody upsets me or whatever it may be.
Right.
I program myself to react a certain type of way, and it's not always healthy, So the basic of it, to keep it short for here, is at night, an inventory. I'm looking at the things I did wrong during that day. The book says selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. I look for those.
Selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear?
Yeah, it says continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. That's after you've got all the drugs and alcohol out of your body and you're going out here through your life. You're going to watch out for these things. Am I resentful? Am I getting angry all the time? Am I fearful and not, you're not a fearful guy. Some people are afraid to get on the internet, afraid to take a picture, afraid to put their voice out there, right?
Right.
And dishonesty, little lies. You ever have somebody owe you $100, and whenever you talk to your wife or somebody, he owes me $1,000, right? That was a lie, right? I'll do that stuff. Still to this day, little white lies. Like, the truth would have done just fine, but I threw a little lie in there. So I have to look at myself through the day, and at night, I write it down. I put down, I lied about this little thing today. I lied about that. I was angry earlier. And very simply, I'm just going to do my best to not do that tomorrow.
Okay.
That's it. I'm going to try to not do these things tomorrow. And here's the beauty of it, Tom. If we don't drink, we get the opportunity to try it again tomorrow.
And so when you wake up the next morning, do you pray? These are the things that I hear you right when you said that?
I do. Right. So if you think about them at night, hey, I told some white lies today. I exaggerated things. Maybe
this is nighttime. This is step me through it. At nighttime, you're taking inventory of crap that you did wrong, said wrong, lied, or whatever that day. So tonight when I'm laying in bed, I'm going to think about all the things that I did. I yelled at my kid or did whatever.
Yeah, all of us have just like our kid walked in the room while you were watching your favorite show. They go, "Hey, Daddy," and you go, "Not now."
Yeah, I'm trying to watch reality TV here. Get this realness out of my face.
Yeah.
Right, and then then you got all that, and then the next you take inventory, self-inventory. Mickey Griggs just concurred, and then the following morning you remind yourself of like a little morning prayer to nature or God or whatever your higher power may be.
Yeah, whatever your higher power is, you put your head down. It's the third step prayer. You say, I offer myself to thee. Whatever thee is, nobody cares. That can be Jesus, Buddha, Allah, nature, the universe. You get to pick. That's the beauty of it. Yes. And we don't discriminate, right? Whatever your higher power is, fantastic, as long as you have one.
Right.
So, I put my head down at night. I think about it and say, I was short with my kids today. I told a white lie to my girl today or whatever that is. Right. And the next morning, you're going to wake up. You're going to put your head down. Or even you don't have to try to look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm not going to do that stuff again today. And you're systematically reprogramming yourself. Like, hey, man, I'm just going to try to do better today. And I promise you, sometimes the next day you'll go to open your mouth and you'll pause. And you know what? That's just better off not said right now. You'll feel it. You'll get to that point. You'll start having these moments where you're like, I shouldn't even open my mouth right now. Or if it's being short with your kid, right? Like my daughter, I do this all the time. My daughter will walk in the room and go, hey, daddy, right in the middle of something. I snap at him. So that night I apologize. I'm inventorying it. And then the next morning I'm like, you know what? Look myself in the mirror. I am going to not be so short with my kids today. And it says, Tom, we get to practice these principles in all of our affairs. It doesn't mean that I'm going to do it perfectly the next day or for the rest of my life.
Right.
I get to practice. And I'm going to mess up again, right? That's what that means. So I'm not going to, the idea that I'm going to be perfect at it will get you drunk. I wasn't perfect at it, might as well crack a beer. You see what I mean?
No, I get it. By the way, earlier, Carrie is watching from home, and she put a link to RobertAlexanderCenter.com, and then Kat Landrove says, James Sweezy, you are awesome. I love your treatment facility. I took a tour of it online.
Awesome.
You've thought of everything. Yeah, and a beautiful kitchen and cafeteria. That's just yeah, that's awesome.
I appreciate it. And the important thing to know about that admissions number on there, look, I don't care what state you're in, what county you're in, or whatever. Some people can't leave their home state. I get it. Some people can come to the Robert Alexander Center. Some people need a free center. I get it. My admissions team and myself, if you reach out to us, we're going to do everything we can to get you safe. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, no,
and
absolutely.
Then some people,
it's like when people want to hire me as a comic. If I'm not available or if it's just a budget, whatever, I said, I'm going to hook you up with the best comic for whatever you need. I want to protect the industry and I want to help people out. You're saving lives. You're saving lives, and you're just watching out for people. So don't be So well, cool, brother. I got one more quick one to call. I'll see you probably if we do a New Year's Eve show. I will see you. Maybe we could do it like an hour early or something, and just get it so we're not on the road with all the drunks or something.
Hey, whatever you think, man. I love Sober Talk Live. I just want to help you be a service to these people. I think you're providing a fantastic service. You know what? To just sit with people and say, I'm just like you. Let's just sit here and talk about it and go one more day without drinking.
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
the thing. People are like, I'm the last guy you want advice from. Dude, I'm 5 months. I'm pushing 6 months here. I'm just trying to, I'm using my fan base to hold me accountable. And I think it's not what I am. It's what I'm not trying to be. I'm not 25 years sober and preaching to people. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know I'm not drinking.
Just remember, we all have one day. I've been sober since I woke up this morning, and we're going to try again tomorrow.
There you go. There you go, brother.
Right.
I will talk with you soon, my friend.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
All right, we'll see you. So there you go, guys. That was my good friend James Sweezy. What a great. He's so knowledgeable. He is so knowledgeable about the steps and everything. And boy, you just don't get that. I'm so glad we connected with him because what a great guy. Hey, Daryl, you are live on Sober Talk. I just want to call and say hi to you real quick. Thank you so much for moderating the audio and the sound out there and Facebook land. We're having a little technical difficulties, and hopefully I can get Brad Cassetto here tomorrow and help me out, and we'll figure something out. But how are you doing? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, it wasn't really bad. I don't know if anybody else had really noticed it or not. It's just little hiccups like you were talking, and all of a sudden it would cut out. And it would jump back.
Well, that's what we were trying to fix today, and we were trying to get the Ethernet to go right to the computer so we wouldn't use the Wi-Fi, but we didn't realize that the computer was also using Ethernet from the control center in the other room, and then I end up voiding that somehow, but we'll get it. But all right, brother. So how was your Christmas? Did you drink a lot?
No, hell no. Yeah, I had coffee and Diet Dew. And,
boy, coffee. That's what Diet Dew is. What I drink, my friend. If it wasn't 9 o'clock, I'd probably go have a cup of coffee. That sounds kind of good. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Well, so man, I'm so glad things are going well for you, and I will
Yeah.
I'll call you off the air and we can catch up on some other things. And appreciate
Sure.
you, man.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Like I said, that's what I'm here for. So.
And I haven't seen
Mhm.
Carl. Is Carl over on Tom Mabe Comedy? Have you seen him on any of the comments?
I didn't see him, but I'm on the Sober Talk side, so I don't know if
Yeah.
he's over on the other side. So
Yeah, I tried to switch over. They wouldn't let me switch over. So, well,
Okay.
all right, brother. Talk to you soon.
Hey, take care, brother.
All right, we'll see you. Well, there you go, folks. It's another Monday night. We're doing the Sober Talk Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This week I may hook up with Mr. Swizzy there, and we'll do with James from RAC and see if he wants to come over and do a special New Year's Eve show for people who are wanting to stay sober on New Year's Eve. And also, if you do buy CBD, it would help me a lot if you visit K, like Kentucky, KYS, as in Sam, KYSBestHemp.com, KYSBestHemp.com, and there's a promo code TOM30. When you check it out, use promo code TOM30, and that will get you 30% off your purchase. So, all right, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. It's funny. Oh. I think we're still live. Carrie, we have to figure this out tomorrow. Come in.